can be done. And it's just so cute, and it's really satisfying seeing stuff that you've propagated. Hello and welcome to House.PlantsUK. So today I'm going to talk to you about the Scindapsus Pictus. I can never say that 100% right, but you know what I mean, it's below. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will see that a few months ago I did some cuttings of this to make a second plant because I wasn't sure how good this plant was. Basically, rundown. I had this plant, I think I got it about a year ago. It was getting really leggy and really bare on the top. So I put it in a bigger pot. First mistake. I put it in a bigger pot and then I put bamboo up so it could wind round and get some bigger leaves and then get fuller on the top. So it did get fuller on the top. The leaves did start to get a bit bigger, but the pot was too big and it was drowning a little bit. So from that I was like, I don't know if this plant's going to survive because I don't know if I put it in too big a pot, if I've messed it up, what do I do? I took some cuttings and I made an IGTV of this. I made a little plant. So here's the video of me doing that. This is what I planted it in, and I've made out of bamboo, little structure and string, and hoping the leaves to get bigger. This is a bit where I planted new bits up at the top. So I've obviously planted this bit in and planted the root in, and it's grown some roots, and then that's a new shoot coming up. So I've actually pulled that out gently. So there, I've left the root. Want that big one ideally. These are my cuttings here that I took from the plant. Here's my little, actually made this earlier, hanging basket thing to go in the bottom. And then this is the soil.
So here I'm going to be putting the nodes into the soil. You have to have a node in order for the leaf to root. Roots can't just come off of the petiole that you put straight into the soil. It has to have that node. So the node is the little brown bit that almost looks like a growth point, but it will be where the root comes from. So I'm just popping all of the leaves down with the nodes facing down in order for them to hopefully root. To create a humid environment, I'm cutting up a plastic bag and then I'm going to put that on top of the pot with a piece of string tied round, and then all the water that's within the soil should evaporate into the air around it and should create that humid environment.
While I did do that, I decided to repot this one into a smaller, compact plastic pot, which I already had, and see how it did. And I didn't hang it because I thought I still want it to be full on top and get bigger leaves. So basically what I did is I sat it like this on a shelf, and I had all this stuff like trailing around it like this, and as you can see it got a lot fuller, which I'm really happy about because this is what it was when I bought it. And it just happens with these plants that, you know, sometimes they do get bare on top and you do need to replant back into the top. and it's not an issue. Just don't fiddle about too much with the pot, which I did. I was trying to get bigger leaves. So I found the way to get bigger leaves, rather than making them go all the way up, I literally just had them on a shelf like this. So they weren't trailing and drapesing down. And I have seen in the garden centre when they are on a pole, they do get big, but you don't need to go to that extent. So as I said, I put it on a shelf, had it all grow around. It's now looking really lush on top. And I've only just put it on the shelf a couple of weeks ago. So it's starting to trail down, which I like now, because now it's full on top. I don't mind so much that the leaves are smaller, now they're trailing down, because at least it's fuller on top. So obviously these leaves, I mean, they're kind of getting to that size, which I would like them bigger, but also I want it trailing down. So you kind of can't have it both ways. But I like it at the minute. I've got it full on top, I've got some bits draping down. Yes, they are a bit smaller, but I don't mind it now with it being like that on top. And yes, I would like to show you what I've done with the little baby one. By the way, I did spot that. This is what happens, you put it on the shelf and a little bit doesn't get as much light, and that happens. But, you know, small price to pay for the shelf beauty. This is the little baby that I did. So originally, as you saw in the video, I potted it into a terracotta pot. I think I put maybe, I don't know, 8 cuttings in there, and then I put a bag over the top to create humidity, and I left it like that literally for a good few months. I didn't really need to water it because it held the moisture with that bag on it. Some of the cuttings didn't make it. That's why you do a lot of cuttings, because you are going to have some that don't work. So once I saw which cuttings made it, I got them out gently and I repotted it into a smaller pot that's plastic, just so it could keep holding the moisture in, and it could just have a lovely old time really. And also it is good to check on the ones that don't make it, because they will get kind of like soggy and rotted, and you don't really want that mixing with all your new ones. So now I've had this in the greenhouse, my little greenhouse, I'm sure you've seen it on my Instagram, and it's doing really well. So basically this is a video just to encourage you guys, if you want to make a second plant. I made this plant because I was worried that one wasn't going to make it, because I put it in too big a pot and nearly drowned it, you know, but it can be done. And it's just so cute, and it's really satisfying seeing stuff that you've propagated. Give it a go guys, you can do it.